Did you know that your Copilot Studio agents can do more than just answering your questions? They can actually take action on their own. I will show you how SQL triggers in Copilot Studio make this possible. When something happens in your SQL database, let's say a new order added, agent can respond automatically. Hi, I'm Rafsan Husseinov, and in this quick tutorial, I will show you how we can configure SQL triggers in Copilot Studio, customize our payload flow so that we can get only columns or information we need without overloading agent's context window, and also storing that information in a global variable so that we can use across the agent. Without further ado, let's get started. So here I am in Copilot Studio, and this is one of my agents for demo purposes. So first of all, to make our agents autonomous, we need to use event triggers in Copilot Studio. So event triggers let our agents respond automatically when something happens. So here's how it works. When an event occurs, let's say we have a SQL database and new record added, the trigger sends a payload to your agent. The backend is actually the connector, and that payload includes details about the event, like in this case, let's say a new record, and instructions on what to do if you add that information, which I will show how. And based on the system instructions we provide in the agent can take that information and start, you know, calling it tools, calling it knowledge sources, and so on. So here is the agent that I built this for demo purposes. So if I click, you can see one of the triggers here, and I'm gonna click start testing. This is the last run. And what I do here, agent triggered when a new record added to our SQL database. Here is the one, and I actually customize this. And then I have a global variable to store that information. And here is the flow itself. Again, you don't have to create this manually. The trigger is available and we're going to configure it together. So here is when an item is created, you need to set, add your server name, database name, table name, and so on. Right now, I don't see option for views. I can see only tables. And I'm also having a select actions, because what if I have hundreds of columns in my agent, in my database? I don't want all the 100 columns. This is very important because that's a true context engineering. So you need to understand what information you need to pass into agent context window without overloading agents, basically context window. Otherwise agent will start losing information. So I've experienced this actually by myself building autonomous agents. So keep that in mind. So I'm selecting the columns, and then I'm adding a compose action here. So you might be asking, hey, can we just add the compose directly? Yes, you can add, but that will also add apply to each. So you need to do some workaround on that. So for compose, as we know, select returns us the array of objects, but I need the first object from that array. So to do that, I have a expression here. My expression checks to make sure that the select body of select columns has values. If not, it returns null. If yes, then it returns the first object from that. So if you don't do that, like adding equals length or basically checking this information, your flow can give you bad requests. So from there, I'm adding I remove the body of when an item is created, and then instead I added a dynamic content, which is outputs from the compose. And here actually you can add system like a trigger instructions. This is the area that you can add that information. And when this runs, this returns this information. and this information is later stored in a global variable. I have a custom topic here, and you can see it says this topic stores the raw payload from the analyze request trigger and invoked when the agent is triggered. And here is the variable. So first, I'm creating a topic variable, and the type is string, and I'm here describing a JSON that stores customer name and request type. And JSON has the following columns: customer name and request type. But to make this global, in other words, to make this visible to within the agent, we need to make a global variable. So here I am adding set a variable value, and then set variable. So make this a global, and then I'm renaming the same. And once I have this topic in the overview tab, I'm specifically calling this. So follow the steps below. When the agent is triggered by analyze request, trigger save the payload in this specific payload. So let's go ahead and build this together. I'm gonna refresh this, and I will go ahead and delete this so that we can add it together. All right, it's deleted successfully. So let's go ahead and add a trigger. So to add a trigger, you need to make sure that your agent's generative orchestration turned on, and that's what makes the agent autonomous. So you can see the featured triggers here, but to see all of them, click all, and you will see 870 triggers. So this number actually getting higher and higher. So you will see more and more triggers coming to Copilot Studio, which is very handy. For SQL, if you type just SQL, you can see two triggers available. When an item is created, this is the one that we are going to use. And when an item is modified, so this is basically the existing record, it's just modified, and that will trigger the agent. So I will select when an item is created and click next. So remember, any tool, any knowledge sources, any trigger that you add to your agent, give a proper name, because that's how LLM calls them. So I'm gonna call this again analyze request. And I have established already the connection, but for this demo, I'm going to go ahead and create a new reference. And from here, we have some authentication type options. For production, I would recommend using service principal, but for this demo, I'm going to use SQL Server Authentication. So here I need server name, database, username. You can find all of this information in your Azure portal. So let's go ahead and add this. So this is my server name. This is my database name. And this is my username. And I can go ahead and put my password. And click create. Perfect. And click next. And from here, let's select the server name, then database name, table name. So if you have view, I don't see that as an option right now. So looks like we can select on a table name, but we don't have option for views. And here is the content. And here, as I mentioned earlier, you can actually provide instructions. Just make sure that these instructions don't have any conflicting information with your system instructions, because system instructions will override them, and sometimes it can confuse the agent. And then click create flow or create trigger. So trigger has been added. So now we need to test, and to test, what we need to do, we need to add a new item in our SQL database. So let's go to SQL. So here is one of the tables that I have. I can just select. You see, like I have all these items here. I'll actually remove this and add the new record. and run. And here is the new record. So let's go back to our agent. So here, first time, if you add a trigger, so it may take few minutes to sync, but later it will be fine. Okay, perfect. Here is the our trigger appeared, and click start testing. And if I select this, you can see this is the all information or raw payload that we are getting. But as I mentioned, for agent, like, we don't need to bring everything. We can just bring information we need. So to do that, so let's go to agent overview tab and click analyze requests. And I will click plus icon and select data operation, select, and I will call this select columns to make it more descriptive. From this will be body, and here, so you need to wait a little bit sometimes to get all the values from the connector. So let me come here one more time. I'm gonna save. Okay, and then open this. Here we go. So customer name, customer name, and this one will be, let's say, request type. Perfect. And after this, I'm gonna add another data operation compose, and here I will use expression, and this expression will be like if equals length of let's open a bracket. I'm gonna select dynamic content, which is gonna be output of select. So I'm saying if equals length of body of this select columns, and after this put comma. If it is 0, then this is gonna be null. If not, I'm saying return first object from this select action, and then I can go ahead and click add this. It's giving me error. Okay, so this is the reason for error. Okay, and then here I'm gonna remove this body, and instead I will add these compose outputs and click save. Test with the recent run, publish and test. It runs successfully, and if I come here, this is what we will be getting in agent. So if I come back, I can rerun these. No, run this one more time. And here is our customized trigger payload. So from here, let me actually delete this topic that I have, and I can build together with you. So click delete. So I will add a new topic and call this topic new request, and this will be this topic stores the analyzed request trigger payload and is invoked when the agent is triggered. So to store that information, this is autonomous again, like we need to like automatically have a way to store that information. So if I click details, you will see input here. I need to create a new variable. So for variable, I'll just call this var row payload. I'm gonna keep it how will the agent will fill this input dynamically, variable type string. Then here description, I will say this JSON stores customer name and request type. The JSON has the following columns: customer name and request type. And I will click save. So what we did right now, we just created a topic, and we also created the topic level variable. But to make that variable global, or in other words, make sure that agent can, reference it within other topics or within generative orchestration, we need to make it global. So to make that global, let's add the set a variable value action, and here I'll create a new variable. First make this global, and then I will make this like same name, var row payload, and the value will be our topic variable. Perfect. And let's add a message here for the sanity check, and let's select a global one, not the topic one, global one, because that's what we need, and click save. So let's go back to overview tab. And if you look at the instructions, like this is my past instructions, I'm going to click edit this. So let's remove this. When the agent is triggered by the analyze request trigger, save the payload in there in global variable. So here, if you go ahead, look at variable, you will not see that this only represents like system variables. But here, instead of variables, we will go ahead and use PowerFX and select global. Again, like if you click topic here, it will not work because this is not for the topic. This is like a global variable. So we need to make sure that we select global dot variable that we have, click insert and dot, and click save. And let's start a new session. And I'm gonna click trigger. So trigger is detected. So we get the customized payload, and also this is the global variable we have. So from here, you can add other actions as well. Example, like I have one agent, the same structure, except has few other actions. Like whenever agent is triggered, it takes the payload, stores in a global variable, and then construct a query to use in Azure AI Search. And from Azure AI Search Index, we get the information back into agent, and we also store that in another global variable and pass both like our payload as well as in vector index result into AI Builder to get the outputs. It's very powerful. I'm planning to make another video and I will show this in action. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, like and share it with your friends and colleagues. Wishing you all a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in 2026.